Hey guys, it's Sam with 2M's and welcome to this MYXclusive interview. As you guys can see, I have a very special guest here with me. She is a very fresh and very talented artist, and I'm so excited she's here because we are going to talk about how she's been, her music, and everything in between. Everyone, please welcome Dia Mate. Woo!
Hi guys, thanks for having me, Sam.
Of course. We are so excited that you're here. Dia, how have you been? It's been a while since the last time I saw you. So how are
I
you?
know it's been a while. I'm doing great. I've just been
Mhm.
making music at home.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
Basically.
I mean now, diba, I feel like it's the
Mhm.
perfect time to really focus on stuff like that. Like for you, music, and for other people, it's also the things that they really been wanting to do talaga. But how has that been for you adjusting to everything that's been going on? Kasi diba, the past year has been crazy to say the
Mhm.
least. But how has that been for you?
It's been pretty good. I mean, I've been focusing a lot on my music, mostly like
Mhm.
working on my production and writing more songs. But it's been
Mhm.
also good because I've been able to spend time with my family
Yeah.
mostly, and my best
Mhm.
friend. She's always here with me at home. So yeah, I've been doing well. So
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. You're still kind of able to balance everything, no? And I really
mhm,
find it, ano, like kanina we were talking also. I
yeah.
asked you if you were still in school, and you said like you actually took a gap year. So what was
Mhm.
that like for you? And that's like a huge decision also, no, on a
Yeah.
parent to take a gap year. So what kind of led you to taking that decision?
So originally, I didn't want to take a gap year. I actually
Mhm.
planned like from like a young age. I just wanted to go to college
Mhm.
straight away. But
Mhm.
then my parents actually had that idea that maybe I should take a
Oh
gap year
wow.
because
Mhm.
my high school was very taxing in terms of academics. It was
Mhm.
quite difficult.
Mhm.
So they thought
Mhm.
it would be a good idea for me to take a break for my mental health and for me to just,
Mhm.
relax and figure out what I want to take in college
Mhm.
and, have some work experience before
Mhm.
going to college.
Wow, that's really crazy. Like, I mean, your parents are so supportive because I mean, taking a gap year, I feel like not a lot of people are able to experience having a gap year, but your parents are actually like the ones who suggested that. So
Yeah,
that's so
super
cool. And you
cool.
mentioned that you also got some work experience. So a little background lang, guys. The first time I actually met Dia was when she was an intern, not too long ago, and that's just it's just so cool how you're here now talking to
I
me as an artist.
know. It's crazy to me. Like
Yeah.
when I first met you, I was just like I was so like in shock being at that event as well because
Mm,
of course it was like
mm,
being the intern and like
yeah.
watching like Moira live the for the Mulan
Mm,
thing, and I was just like
yeah,
in
yeah.
awe. So it's like wow, like I wish I could be like this artist,
Mm,
performing, and then now I'm so grateful because I do have this opportunity, and now I'm
yeah.
here speaking with you again, which
I
is
know
pretty
that.
great and super exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, life is really so crazy though. So how is that for you? Like I feel like that would be such a surreal experience because like you were an intern first and then you became a recording artist. So like can you wrap your head around it already or does it still feel like surreal to you?
To be honest, it still feels so surreal to me. Like I just
Yeah.
think about it, and I'm like, huh? Like I'm an artist now. Like
Yeah.
I'm putting out music now.
Mm,
Yeah, because I was so used to like doing the cool. Well, of course, I love my internship, and I was so used to like
mm,
doing the work of an intern and like doing
yeah.
all these cool things,
Mhm.
doing all the marketing research and stuff. But
Yeah.
of course, I do love my music, and I'm
Mhm.
super happy that I am able to do this because it's
Yeah.
my first love.
Yeah,
basically.
of course. So I think we should talk more about how you actually started with music. I'm sure people would love to know then how you were able to do like make your own songs and produce your own songs. So how did you actually get started with music, Dia? Like, did you always know that you wanted to be like a performer and an artist?
Um, well, growing up, I really, really loved performing and
Mm-hmm.
music as well. Um, I had voice lessons growing up, and like every kid, they have piano lessons. So I had piano
Yeah,
lessons.
same.
So I had that, and then I got my first ukulele,
Mm-hmm.
and I taught myself how to play it. Because remember back in like 2014, 2015, there
That
was like a
looks like
surge.
everyone.
Yeah, surge in
Yeah,
ukuleles. Everyone was playing Riptide, and little
yeah.
14-year-old me was like, "Oh my god, I need to get my own ukulele. I need to learn. I want to play Riptide and sing it everywhere." I was one of those girls in school carrying the ukulele around, just playing it. So I had that.
Same.
Oh my god, such a time. And then
Yeah.
I started performing for these events, for volunteering to perform at
Mm-hmm.
events. And I like to perform in school as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of my favorite things to do. I took up music in high school because in our curriculum in school we had a choice to take music or not,
Mm-hmm.
and I chose music. So we would have like recitals, and we were required to create compositions, and that's really what got me into like the composition and the music production. And
Mm-hmm.
then as I said before, I had that gap year, right? So in that gap year, that's when I was really able to start my music production. And funny enough, I started it when I was in my internship.
Mm-hmm.
I was at the office, and
Oh
I didn't
wow.
have a task. So I was so bored. I was like, what am I going to do while waiting for a task to be done, right? I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to try and figure out this garage band on my laptop. It's just
Mm-hmm.
been sitting there. I only use it for covers. So I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? I'm going to try and make a beat. And then I
Mm-hmm.
made this really, it's kind of horrendous beat. It's actually on my SoundCloud. I never took it down. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's when I learned. I just searched on YouTube how to make a lo-fi beat. And that's basically where it all started. And I started trying to make my own music from then.
Wow. I love that you started this whole like beat production at your internship. Like that's
I
crazy.
know. It's crazy.
That's really so crazy. But I mean, things happen for a reason, diba? So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really nice how it kind of led you to that also. And you started off with beats, and now you really like produce and like write your own songs
Mm-hmm.
also. So who are your influences also when it comes to music? Because I realize like your voice is like, you have a very R&B kind of like
Oh,
voice.
thank
So
you.
who are like your influences when it comes to music?
So growing up is probably my number one R&B artist is Miguel. So
Oh.
that's probably why, yeah, because my favorite song is Adorned by Miguel. My dad showed it to me when I was like 12. So
Whoa.
yeah, my dad has really cool music.
Your parents are so cool.
Yeah, he's super cool. But that is what really got me into the R&B genre. And then I started listening to a lot of Frank Ocean and Daniel Caesar and Her and SZA and Umi, especially. She's my favorite. I can just keep going on and on with my R&B influences. But surprisingly enough, I also have Dave Matthews Band as an influence because of my dad. I love that type of music as well, like the acoustic rock type sound, and as well as like the indie pop sound of like Clairo and
Mhm.
Tame Impala and things like
Yeah.
that.
I love that. Like with artists nowadays, I really realize like when it comes to genre also, it's so like fluid now. Like you can
Mhm.
take inspiration from a lot of different artists, and that's really cool. I actually saw your cover of Umi's Remember Me
Oh, you
not too
did.
long ago. Yeah, so I saw it also. I saw it on Instagram. I remember someone shared it
Mhm.
and I saw it. And I was like, "Oh, Dia's like singing so well." So I didn't know back then that you
Thank
were like a
you.
singer. So
Mhm.
I was like, "Oh, let's go, Dia." So that's really cool. Like you post covers also. So I saw that you also
Mhm.
posted covers even before pa. So what made you decide
Yeah.
na you wanted to like create covers also and share your voice, of course, to everyone?
I'm actually not so sure. I think it was just one day. I just all of a sudden was like, I want to sing. I want to post
Mm,
my covers on SoundCloud and YouTube. I just
mm,
had some wave of motivation. You know that type of
mhm.
motivation you get out of nowhere. So it
Super
was more like,
random. Yeah.
yeah, the super random motivation. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
might as well. I started learning how to play the guitar,
Mhm.
and like the first cover I ever made was with this microphone, this headphone
Let's
microphone.
go.
I recorded it. Oh my gosh. But yeah, and then it just carried on into like the actual covers with the microphone, which my
Mhm.
parents got me for my birthday, my 13th birthday, that microphone
Oh,
set. I know. I'm so thankful. They're
cute.
so supportive. They loved the
Mhm.
covers I
Mhm.
made. And then
Wow.
yeah, that's just basically how I got into making
Mhm.
covers.
Yeah.
Random
Yeah,
motivation.
I mean, we love a random wave of
Mhm.
inspiration and like motivation, right? I mean, now and like it really put yourself out there too, and it helped you like I'm sure also just
Mhm.
build that kind of like confidence in yourself and also your voice. And now you're releasing your own music, so I want to talk about your songwriting too. When you write songs, like are there certain topics or like themes that you're drawn to, and like what like helped you hone your songwriting also?
So most of my songs that I write are
Mm-hmm.
about relationships, as cheesy as they
Mm-hmm.
sound, because I really take inspirations from things that happen around me or like things that happen to me personally. So, for example, when I started writing, the very first song I wrote was called "Puppet Strings." I
Mhm.
was
Wow.
13 and I had the crush on this guy. As in, I thought I was in love with
Cute.
him. It was so bad. It was so I needed to like write a song about it. I was like, okay, I'm
Mhm.
gonna write it. And it was the very first song I wrote. I put it on SoundCloud. It's still there if you wanna listen
Guys,
to it.
search it.
Oh my god, it's little 13-year-old me. It's not that great, but then now it kind of carried on into my songwriting now because a lot of it is
Mhm.
about relationships again and like
Mhm.
breakups and
Mhm.
how I'm feeling in the moment. And
Mhm.
then another topic would be sadness, probably, because it's,
Mhm.
in my opinion, it's the best time to write is when you're sad because you come up with the
Mm.
most lyrical content.
Yeah.
For me personally, at least, because I can write the most deep lyrics that are kind of poetic in a sense that
Mhm.
I think are. But when I'm like, for example, happier, it's a bit harder. Like I feel like my
Oh,
lyrics
really?
aren't as great. Yeah. Because I don't know why. Because when you're sad, you have so many emotions. So you're just,
It's true.
all these thoughts come in. So it's easier to like project them into songwriting.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually a really cool insight. I feel like I've never heard, or I haven't heard someone say that. But it's easier to write songs like when
Hmm.
you're sad. But sadness, because it's such a strong
Yeah.
emotion, then and it's a very strong feeling. So I totally understand like why that would work for you also. Because like you said,
Hmm.
like you personally, that's when you write the best, quote unquote.
Hmm.
So that's really cool. Now you're able to do that even when you're like sad and you have all of these
Hmm.
emotions. You're able to navigate through all of
Hmm.
that because I can imagine it's difficult, but at least you're
It
able to
is.
channel it into songwriting. But now that you're releasing your own music also, and you kind of are really just putting yourself out there, what kind of artist do you want to be known as, or what kind of artist do you want to be?
Um, well, in terms of artistry, I really want people to see me as authentic in terms
Mm-hmm.
of my lyricism and my music. I want people to, well, I hope, hopefully, people feel the way I do when I write it and
Mm-hmm.
produce it, for example, because I think it's so important, not only in the lyrics, but in the way you produce the music and the vibe
Mm-hmm.
of the music and how you feel with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, that's why people love BTS so much because even though you don't
Mm-hmm.
understand it, you feel the vibes so well that you
Yeah.
connect with the vibes. So that's how I
Mm-hmm.
hope people will see me with my music. And I just hope to be like relatable as well, and for people
Mm-hmm.
to connect to what I'm trying to put out and say.
Oh, I love that. I mean, authenticity, I feel like
Mhm.
people will be able to react well to authenticity. And it's super hard, I'm sure, as an artist to not be authentic because it's very
Yeah.
difficult and it's tiring. And I love that you
Mhm.
said BTS. I love BTS kasi. So I love that you said, use them as an example also. So I totally get what you mean. And when
Mhm.
I listen to your music, I feel like yung vibes talaga, I really get the vibes. Like I really am able to feel your voice and everything that goes on with the melody and all of that. So it really goes
Thank
to
you.
show how you're very like you're very involved in the whole process of
Mhm.
creating your music. Like you're very into it. So let's talk more about your latest single, which is Dream. Can you tell us more about how you came up with the idea for this and what it's about?
So, so Dream basically is, well, I call it a happy sad song
Mhm,
because the lyrics are very melancholic in a sense,
mhm.
but the vibe is very happy, as I said.
Yeah.
How I came about writing the song. Um, so basically, it is about being stuck in the past because of
Mhm,
trauma, and you can't really move forward in terms of relationships or even friendships because you're so closed off, but you do
mhm,
want to move on in the moment. So, for example, like right now in this state, I'm so happy with who I'm talking to. For example, if it's a talking stage or even a friendship, but like
mhm,
something's pulling me back. So I just can't step into that new,
mhm.
step over the
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what
Yeah.
it's about, essentially.
Oh, I love that. I feel like a lot of people are like stuck also in that kind
Hmm.
of like feeling. I mean, I know that feeling too. I mean, a lot of people have experienced that too. So, what made you decide, like, for something so melancholic, now you wanted to make it a little bit upbeat, a little bit happier in that sense?
So I wrote it originally. I wrote it on the guitar. Like it was just some
Mhm.
random morning for me, and I have this thing where I get chords from TikTok.
Oh, wow. I
Yeah,
love that.
well, it's because I'm on my For You page, and sometimes they post like guitarists post like, oh, use these chords in your next song, or check out this chord progression. And
Oh.
yeah, so I was like, oh wow, like I really want to try this specific chord progression, and I loved it. It was such a happy chord progression. That's why it was in a major
Oh.
key.
Mhm.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make it sound kind of happy in the production because it's already getting there. It's already with the
Mhm.
vibes. Even if it is
Mhm.
sad, I thought that it would sound better,
Mhm.
happier. Because like I write too many sad songs, so it would be nice to have like even if it is a bit sad, it would be nice to
Mhm.
be for it to be like happy and you could vibe to
Yeah.
it. Maybe listen to it on a road trip and with your friends. Hmm.
It is super road trip vibe. I agree. It is a very road trip vibe. I mean, it's sad that we could go on road trips now and
I
all, like as much as
know.
we would want. But I love that it came from TikTok also. That's also like another random like
Hmm.
wave of like inspiration. So that's so cool. I love that you got it from there and you kind of was able
Hmm.
to build on that too. So I feel like a lot of people also are able to relate to the song, like what you said. The topic like of it is also very very relatable. But I also do
Hmm.
want to talk about Heart Hates Me, which I
Hmm.
also super love. The vibe is also so good. So
Thank
what can
you.
you tell, what can you share about Heart Hates Me and like what it's about?
Okay, so this one is a bit more sad
Yeah.
because of course heart hates me. So I wrote this shortly after a breakup, like
You go, girl.
a long term relationship breakup. But it was yeah, again, it was inspired by the breakup, and it's basically me hating myself for leaving or breaking up with the person. That's what it's about.
Oh.
Yeah, so I say like my mind took everything from me because it was more a decision that I made that was logical, and it wasn't like I
Mhm.
wasn't thinking with my heart. I was thinking with my brain.
Ah.
So
Mhm.
afterwards, I was so sad. I hated myself after. It's like, wow, what did you do?
Yeah,
The initial regret. So
yeah.
that's
Mhm.
basically the preface of what it is about. And then
Yes.
what else? Yeah, just me regretting it after and being so sad.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. But now it totally makes sense like why it's heart hates me. Cause like
Mm-hmm.
I totally get that. Parang you have to use your brain talaga, especially with such huge decisions like for example,
Mm-hmm.
breaking off a relationship. But how is it for you, like the having something so personal and writing it into song and then sharing it with so much people?
Mm-hmm.
Because diba, it can be difficult to share our vulnerabilities and all of that with other people, especially to the public. So how is that for you? Like is that like easy for you or is it something that you also had to kind of think about?
In a sense, yeah, a little bit. I had to think about it a little bit, but all in
Mhm,
all, I think it's very important and special if
mhm,
like an artist is so raw with their emotion that they put it
mhm,
out. And I
mhm.
wanted to emulate that. Like for example, Billie Eilish, right? All her songs are so deep and so raw.
True. Mhm,
So of course, I respect her so much for that. I love her music. She's like number one in like my top
Yeah.
for the year.
Yeah.
But as an artist, like putting out that type of music, I I think it's okay because I feel like there are people that would relate to that as well and
Mhm.
connect with it. And I feel like
Yeah.
it's great to find a song that you can find comfort in. You
Mhm.
know, it's
Yeah.
the most amazing feeling when you can find a song and listen to it and be like, "Yep, this is me right now. This is what is happening in my life." So if I
Yeah.
can give that to someone, then it would make me so happy just for someone to love my music in that way.
Yeah, for sure. And you said that you want to be like super authentic also, diba,
Mhm.
as an artist. So I feel like a lot of people now will get that from the music that you make and the stuff that you write about. But it was also about like a relationship that you kind of broke off. So would you know
Mhm.
if like the person you were in a relationship with actually heard the song or like knows it's about that?
Well, if they did, it's okay naman. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm in good terms with this person,
Oh,
so
that's good. Yeah.
it's totally fine. Like if he's listened to it, it's fine with me. Like
Mhm.
there's no hard feelings naman.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I mean, diba? 'Cause like this is of course like this is your art then. So it's like
Mhm.
although it's like real life, it's also your way then of like expressing yourself, which I think is
Yeah.
really cool. But speaking of
Mhm.
Heart Hates Me, I also heard that you're planning on releasing an EP also with the same name. So how has that
Oh
been working
no!
on the EP?
Wow, it was a process
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
It was very fulfilling though, like being able to write all these songs and produce like two of them, and working with like all these really great producers as well. Like it really opened my eyes and
Mhm.
to see like what it's like working in the music industry in terms of being an artist and how it
Yeah.
is creating a song. Because I learned so much now, like in terms of mixing and mastering, and like it's actually harder than you like for me, it's harder than you think to make a song. There's so much thought put into it. There's so many drafts back and forth. But with this EP, I'm really happy with the songs I'm putting on it because it's again, it's very raw to
Mhm.
with a lot of raw emotion in it and a lot of deep emotions as well, like deep
Mhm.
stuff. Like I wrote one of the songs on it is called "Take Me Away," and it's quite sad,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, and that one specifically was based around mental illness. So I think that
Mhm.
one is the kicker with that
Ooh,
EP.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for it. I mean, like especially the one about like mental health and mental illness. I feel like that's a conversation that really needs to be talked about, especially now with everything that's been going on. So I'm
Mhm.
sure people are super excited also for the EP. What can we expect from the EP? I mean, you already talked about like how the songs are very honest too, but you also worked with producers like Fern and like Crown and Blaster from Four of Spades.
Mhm.
So in terms of sound, like what can we expect coming from the EP?
Oh wow. Okay, so in terms of sound, it's a bit different. I feel like
Mm.
in a good way, it's all over the place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because with working with different producers, they all have
Mhm.
different sounds, but
Yeah.
in also in a good way, it works with mine, so it intertwines in a way.
Mhm.
So which is pretty good. And then there are two songs there that I produced on my own, which also sound different.
Yeah.
So hopefully my production is good enough. I mean, because I just started as well. But in
Mhm.
terms of working with the other producers, it was pretty great. I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to work with them, especially, well, of course, the three of them. So
Yeah.
with Crown, he was super, super cool. He got the vibe right away, and it was super easy talking to him. And then recording at Mango Room was like such a cool experience.
Mhm.
I felt so hyped up there, and I was like, "Yeah, let's record!" And it was documented.
Mhm.
So a few back and forths, and then with Blaster also same. He got the vibe right away, and I was super super ecstatic because he had really great ideas. And
Mhm.
then because of the pandemic, we couldn't meet up to record, so
Mhm.
I just recorded here at home. Wait, where's my mic? It's
Mhm.
right there. That's my mic.
Oh,
So I just did it
wow.
right here in
Yeah.
my room. Yeah. So thankfully, I do have the equipment for that. Um, and then with Fern, okay, Fern. So no, nothing bad. No, has become one of my closest friends,
Mhm.
actually, surprisingly, because
Mhm.
of being in this label. And working with him was also super fun. And I think out of the three, we are the most alike in our like vibe and music.
Mhm.
So
Mm-mm.
we worked really well together, and then we recorded at Kindred twice, a couple times. That
Mm-mm.
specific song I worked on with Fern had a lot of drafts. It went through like
Oh.
several versions. Yeah, but I'm super super happy with the outcome of that specific song.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow, so I'm even more so excited now, hearing that they're a little bit different, but they're all still kind of aligned with what
Hmm.
you want to do with your music. So I'm sure everyone is also super excited for that. So we have to keep our eye out for your EP. So how does it feel like now that you're gonna be releasing an EP from like making your covers, and then now it's like EP, like you produced two of the songs, worked with many producers for this one too. So how does it feel?
It feels great. Like it's so creatively fulfilling as
Mhm.
again. And it's just so nice being able to like put out music that I'm super happy with and just to express myself in this specific manner, and putting out my own music because I never really imagined that I would be an artist putting out music. I thought at most I would just be putting out stuff on SoundCloud or on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it is pretty crazy to me that I have stuff on Spotify now. Like the first time Heart Hates Me was released, we had
Mhm.
like this Zoom lubong with the label and the team. It was
Aww,
so cute. And then when it came out,
that's
I
so
screamed so
cute.
loud. I screamed. It was like I was so excited. I was like, "Oh my god, guys!" And I was freaking out. And I was literally on my chair. We were downstairs in the dining table. I was on the chair for a good hour. I was in the same position because I couldn't move. I was so in shock because I was so excited. It's like, oh my god,
Aw.
I can't. I'm on Spotify. This is not real. It didn't process. I feel like it still hasn't processed, Sam. Like
Mhm.
I feel like I'm floating sometimes. Like, oh, I'm existing in this realm now.
This is the timeline that I'm
This
in, right?
I know exactly.
But I mean, that's such a great thing too. Like, na parang,
Mhm.
like it's. I feel like that's the great part. Like, you don't realize that it's actually happening, but when you realize it is, it's like, oh my god, oh nga pala, like this is
Mm-mm,
actually
exactly.
happening, and this is real life. So this is so crazy, and I'm so excited for you and
Thank
everything that
you.
you have planned. That's so wild. I'm like just really so happy for you and your
Thank
music,
you
of
so
course. Like
much.
you're able to share it already with so
Mhm.
many people. But before I let you go, Dia, do you have a message to everyone who's been supporting you and listening to your music?
Mhm. I just want to say thank you to everyone that is listening to my music right now. It really means the world to me that you are giving me some love, and I feel so appreciated right now. And that's really all I can say. And I really
Mhm.
hope that you enjoy my future releases and my current ones. So yeah, that's basically my message. And
Yay!
thank you to sorry Sam.
Go
Um,
lang!
no, I just want to say thank you to my family and to my friends and everyone who supported me on that end. You were a
Mhm.
godsend, and I love everyone. Love you all. So
Oh, I love this energy. Yes, we love people. We love people
love,
who support
send out the
people.
love.
Yes, especially now, more love and like kindness everywhere. But also, Dia, where can everyone follow you on your social media so they can keep updated with all of your releases and everything that's been going on?
You can follow me on Instagram at diaxmata and on
Mhm.
Twitter and on Facebook. So the three. And then on TikTok, it's just Dia Mate.
Mhm.
And then on SoundCloud, it's the same. So,
Okay.
user. That's where
Yes.
it all
So
is.
yeah, so guys, make sure to follow Dia, of course, on her social media pages so that you guys can keep up with everything going on in her life, like her music and all of that. And also, don't forget to follow Mix on our social media also to keep updated as well. And guys, also don't forget to catch Ben and Ben in concert that is happening May 22 Saturday at 7 p.m. So you can get your tickets at www.kumu.live. You guys can see the banner down below. And there are two kinds of tickets you guys can get. There's general admission that gives you access to the concert, but also VIP, which gives you access to the concert and a meet and greet with Ben and Ben after the show. So make sure to catch Ben and Ben in concert happening May 22, Saturday at 7 p.m., which is presented by Kumu Live Events and MYX. So thank you so much, Dia, for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Sam. Thank you so much for having
Thank
me.
you. Of course, we're so excited to have you here. And thank you as well to everyone who tuned in to this MYXclusive interview. Don't forget to stream Dia's music. It is available on multiple digital streaming platforms. Listen to her newest single, Dream, but also her other single, Heart Hates Me, and keep your eye out for her EP, which I'm sure is coming very, very soon. So once again, thank you, everyone. And thank you, Dia, for joining me today.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Once
Thank
again, this has been
you.
Sam with 2 M's and Dia Mate.